Hi, and welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual program, the Target Individual experience. It's been a while since I've done a video. We've all been going through this COVID-19 situation, as well as us TIs who's not also going through that, but also being targeted, um, and just feeling the effect of that targeting. Excuse me. Just need to fix that there. Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah. So one of the things I tell TIs all the time is that it doesn't matter what you go through or what you're going through or what's happening around you. You will always be targeted, right? It doesn't matter if you stop talking about your targeting. If you are talking about your targeting, you're always going to be targeted. Okay? It does not matter. Once you are in this program, you're in this program for life, and particularly if you start exposing it, they will come at you with the ferociousness of a bear that's hungry, okay, chasing someone. All right. So, let's talk about my targeting recently, and what's going on. So, you know, the noise campaign, the tracking of movement inside the home, the the police, with the remote no monitoring, who will turn on their sirens if I'm thinking something, or monitoring your online activity or what you watch on television, and trying to prevent you from looking at certain things that they don't want you to look at. Again, this is about control, right? And so we all have to understand this experiment on you and to control you. Okay. Now, on top of that, we're dealing with the civilian perpetrators, right? And so usually when I go out, I usually to go to the grocery store, just to get some groceries and stuff, and then also I'll go home once in a while, not every week, but the last time I went to my house was about maybe 3 weeks ago, okay, or 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so, you know, again, civilian perpetrators waiting, same thing, it doesn't change. Okay, so it just goes to show you that these people, they don't care about their own health at times. They're following the instructions they've been given, and whether something happens to them or not, they don't care. And again, this is a cult-like mentality, right? And so this is what happens. So, like I said, we're dealing with people who are in religious people who are in a cult. Okay, and religion is a cult. No matter how you know people may try to say, well, religion is not a cult, and all religion started out as cults. It's a cult. It's just a large cult, a very, very large cult, or a very, very large popular cult, right? And I just want to, because it's funny, when I read stuff like this. So this is one of those Christian website, right? And it says religion and cult, and it says a cult is an exclusive closed system where its core beliefs cannot be questioned. Religion provides a structure or guidance for life's journey. And I have to laugh at this, okay? Because they talk about because of the you cannot question the core belief in a cult. Don't pastors always tell you not to question the word of God, right? Don't, when you go to church and you have a question about the Bible, don't they tell you not to question? Hey, just stop jumping, please. Come on. That's my daughter here. Um, yeah. Don't the pastors tell you that? Don't they say don't question the word of God or don't question the Bible, right? So I just want to show the hypocrisy and the ignorance of religious believers, right? And particularly even those who teach it, you know, by trying to distance themselves from being a cult. You are a cult, and if you're a leader of that religious organization, then you are a cult leader. It's as simple as that. By your own definition, tells you that your religion is a cult, but yet you can't even see it. But you try to make up some bullshit about how, religion gives you instructions how to, live on through life. Well, so does cults and cult leaders. Okay, and where do you think cults get the basis of their instruction? Even though the leader may add on his little, thing because of again his narcissistic, sociopathic personality, his or her, I should say, narcissistic, personality, right? They get it from the same book you reading. Okay, so just wanted to put that to rest. Anyway, so you guys know that I'm in school, and the situation has been very tough on me. Um, Particularly when I have to take care of the kids and homeschool them while I also have classes to take, and which makes it very difficult for me to concentrate on my class. And then on top of that, being microwave, remote monitoring the noise campaign, it has become very, very hard for me to concentrate. Okay, I have no focus, and every time I pick up a book to try to read it, I can't do it. I cannot read it. I cannot read my textbook. Uh, I had to hand in a test last week, and I handed the test. I mean, I uploaded the test, but I forgot that the teacher said to upload it within a certain format. I forgot that, so I ended up sending her an email, and then she just got confusing where the email came back saying can't be delivered, and I'm trying to figure like what the hell's going on here. And because again I can't focus, I really wasn't thinking in a logical manner in which to resolve the problem, you know. So when I had the class, I had to ask her if I can resubmit it to her because she said she didn't get the email. When I looked to see, yeah, the email was returned to me. I mean, prior to this happening, I was getting focused. But then again, every time they notice that I have more focus and I'm doing, the things that I have to do, they start attacking me with the noise campaign, with the microwaving and shit like that. And then we go right back into square one again, right back to square one where I can't concentrate, can't focus. It becomes very hard for me. They're using Pam, so we started arguing and stuff like that. And, like it was Tuesday night, she came home from work. Now, normally she come home from work, she'll go, take a shower, go in her room, or have a eat and go in her room, or have you, right? While she, because she likes to be alone, just to decompress. Those are her words, right? And but Tuesday night now she comes after taking a shower, after eating, comes out, sat with me on the couch, sticks her knee in the side of my leg, okay? Start doing these hand signals, and again, if I'm about to give you some examples of what she's doing. So if you're a TI and you cannot deal with the hand signals, or they tend to affect you quite negatively, then I would suggest that you either skip past this or close your eyes while I, you know, talk about show what it is that she was doing. So she's sitting next to me, and again, she's on her phone, right? But she's constantly touching her face, constantly doing this, right? Constantly doing this, constantly, tipping her, touching the tip of, tapping her nose, right? And I'm looking at her in the corner of my eye now. I'm not saying nothing, and she's there, because again, whatever it is that she's doing, she's trying to get me upset now so that I would react, and that would justify whatever it is that she's done or she's trying to do. And again, she's all been, whether it be the technologies causing her to do this, or whether it's manipulation, by others. So this is what she was doing. Now we've been cool. I mean, we had one little spat one night because again, she said some shit to me that I was just like, what? Like, did you really say that shit? You know what I'm saying? And so on top of that, now, come to find out, I was asking a couple of questions and stuff like that, and she was telling me that prior to the whole Corona thing hitting, that her ex was planning to start dating again. So I said to her, I said, you were talking to your ex, I said, I've told you that once you start to talk to whoever else and whatever, then I'm taking my behind home. I'll pick up. The kids got after school. They can stay in after school when you go pick them up. When they don't have after school, I can pick them up, but you need to get here at a decent time so I can go home. So I think she, told me that because again, this is what these people like to do. They like to, try to rub shit in your face. They like to, because again, they're narcissists, right? So they like to rub shit in your face. They like to make you feel, they like to belittle you or try to belittle you, to try to one up you, showmanship wise, what have you, you know? And so, for example, if he did something good for somebody, they gotta do something good for somebody. If he did something good for them, you know, they will double their effort because again, it's to try to make it look like they're always somewhat better than you. And again, it all comes down to religion, right? The basis of religion when it comes to what they teach nowadays is that hey, if you're making more money, if you have a big house, if you have drive nice cars, then God has blessed you, right? Even though the Bible tells them God don't play favorite. God don't bless one person over another. This is what their own Bible tells them, right? But this is what they're preaching. So it goes to show you again. And I'm sorry to talk about the religion. Actually, I'm not going to talk about the religion because I think people need to really understand it, okay, in what it is that they're teaching. And it's not this; they haven't just started teaching this. This is from the inception of it, okay. So, you know, So anyway, so like I said, so then also, my back started hurting because I'm more active with the kids now. Not also helping them with their schoolwork, but they got to be active. So, especially with this, and the building has like a center court and it has a backyard that I take them out to from time to time to get them some sunlight and some a little bit of exercise. We play soccer and other things, tag and stuff like that. So just to keep active. But when I come back in, man, I don't have that luxury before where I would come get off from class, go home, take a muscle relaxer, sleep for like 2 hours, wake back up, what I'm saying, and start to do my work. What I'm saying. Basically whatever little sleep, and then because we're being microwave, we're all suffering from insomnia. My kids, we cannot go to sleep early. Try to, we're up because again, we're being microwave, right? And this is one of the effect of when you're being exposed to microwave radiation or radio wave radiation. Uh, this is what happens, right? So it becomes very difficult. So as I was saying, so Tuesday when she was sitting next to me, digging her knees into me, and then I got up, I left, I went to go lay down, and then and I had put the kids to bed, and I go lay down 5 minutes later, she got the kids up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, I mean, you don't have to be here with them all day. You don't have to be teaching them, And then she said something to me about, like, try to belittle me because she was like, well, now I'm ready to go to bed now. I'm saying, well, you got the kids up and stuff like that. I said, yeah, but I got to get up to, make them breakfast, do all that stuff, and get them ready, to begin the day's lesson. And she's like, well, I have a job. And I was like, wow, really? You know? And I mentioned, I said, I got school too, I got to get for school too. So she was like, well, shoot, I got a job. Like, like trying to throw that shit in my face because you got a job. Okay. And, but again, this is what, they do. And particularly women too. And speaking as a black man, this is what a lot of black women do. You know what I'm saying? And they try to belittle us because, again, they're being conditioned that way. And that's why there's a heavy strain within the relationship between black men and black women today, right? And, and instead of looking for solutions, we're just looking to put down each other and blame each other when we shouldn't. Okay, we should be blaming the people that orchestrated these types of manipulative programs, systemic racism system. That's who we should be blaming. All right. So anyway, so Tuesday, no, Wednesday morning, because I woke up the next morning and she went to work and she calls me and she calls me with this very stern voice to let me know that she had deliveries coming. And then she was like, and then she was like, well, thank you, Nigel. And I was like, huh? Like, where did all of this come from? Like she got like this confident now where she feels like she can talk to me in this manner in certain ways and stuff like that. It's like, and again, I guess because let me tell you guys what happened. Monday, I have a new therapist. All right. This therapist this is not medication. It doesn't prescribe medication. This is just psychotherapy. And so as I was speaking to this person, and this was we did this, you know, uh, FaceTime, and I'm speaking to this individual, and of course, another religious person, and I tell him, I said, listen, don't let's not drag religion into my sessions. And so he's like, well, I have my personal relationship with Jesus and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, let's see what this goes. See, as TIs, it's particularly me being an atheist, they will not allow me to even see a psychiatrist who is an atheist also, a non-believer. They always have to be these religious, indoctrinated people. Okay? And so, there's a reason for that though, which I'm not going to get into. But anyway, so while I was having my session with the therapist, he keeps saying, I got you, I got you, I got you, repeatedly. And I'm just there listening. Me, I like to observe things and analyze it afterwards and stuff like that. So, that's what he kept saying. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I said, you know what, I give him a couple of tries and see what happens, right? And because I definitely will be bringing it to his attention. That's the one thing that I always do. I don't shy away from confrontation, particularly a good confrontation. When people are trying to manipulate you, and so I don't shy away from confronting them, letting them know what exactly that they're doing, and I don't like it. Okay, and so that's it. So anyway, so then like I said, Tuesday night, we got into it a little bit. And then yesterday, I told I was going. I'm gonna go home. I was like, I'm gonna go home. We're being targeted. I'm being targeted heavily. Microwave waving. I've noticed recently, hand signals from everybody within, the house. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I think I need to go home. What have you? And then I'm leaving, and she's gonna send me. It's illegal to go to another house while this is going on, right? So I said, wait, are you trying to tell me that it's illegal for me to go to my house? I said, are you trying to tell me that? I said, where in New York State does it say that it's illegal? And then she's like, well, not in New York, but in Michigan. And I'm like, are we in Michigan? Right? Are we in Michigan? And she was like, no. I said, well, exactly. So you can't tell me it's illegal. And the reason being, because when she comes home, she don't want to deal with the kids. So even after I'm dealing with the kids all day, she comes home. She want to deal with the kids. Okay, so I have to deal with the kids. Period. And whenever she feels that she can tolerate us for a minute or two, then she comes out and what have you, and then she goes back into her room. Okay. So that upset her because the fact that now she had to be with the kids, right? So that upset her because then she says to me, she's like, well, I work all day. I'm like, no, you don't work all day. No one works all. Well, I shouldn't say no one works all day, but you don't work all day. Okay? You don't work all day. So, you know, and so I had told her last week about me going home in the afternoon, and she was like, "F you if you're gonna do that," and such and such. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, you put me at risk, the kids at risk." I'm like, "Listen, you work in a hospital, okay? You putting us more at risk from you going to work than for me going home, you know." And so, like I said, listen, I'm careful. I got my mask on, got my shades on, walk with hand sanitizer, walk with a bottle of alcohol, isotrophic alcohol, and I spray on the bus seat if I'm going to sit down or have you. If I got to hold on to the straps on the bus or you know, um, the, you know, the thing on the bus that you hold on to, I put hand sanitizer on. Okay. And when I get in the house, I'll spray my clothes down with rubbing alcohol, or I'll take some Lysol and I'll just, hold at the distance and spray it, and then I wash my clothes, right? I get in the house, I take a bath. I'm not touching the kids until I take a bath, right? And, wash myself from head to toe, okay? So, so I said to her, I said, I'm taking more precaution than she does, right? Because I'm not even going to talk about what she do when she comes in the house. Okay, so anyway, and so as I was going home last night, of course they already know. They already know because whenever they do stuff like that, they already have their perpetrators in place, the bus stop on the bus, what have you. So I took the bus home. I even paid them no mind. So I noticed, today, this morning, when I'm on my way over here, I'm walking to the bus stop, and let me get to the video here. So I'm walking to the bus stop, and I see this dude at the corner, right? And he's like looking at me. So I take my phone up, and I started to record. And when I took my phone out, he turns and he walks off, right? And you'll see him here as he walks off. Right? Standing at the corner here. He sees me, he runs back, pussy. Yeah, right here. See how see how he looks at me, right? How can you do? All right, so I want you guys to. I'm going to go back a little bit because just to show you guys here. Let me do this too. From the top. Let's go back. Okay. So I want you guys to look. I turn the sun off, as you know. Okay. Right here. You see how he looks at me, right? Because he knows he's being recorded now. Okay. And now he start kicking his feet, start stomping on the ground. You know. Okay. Put on the show for the people. Wow. Now check this out. Now you see, you gotta look at the eye. You gotta look at the eye movement, right? Now watch the guy that's approaching. See, he's staring at me, right? Okay. Try to play it off. Okay. Takes his phone out. Yeah, put on the show. Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube pretty soon. But you see, he's not pressing nothing, right? His phone, his phone didn't come on or anything like that. He's not pressing anything on his phone. Okay. Yep. So see, he looks at me, puts it back in his pocket, looks in the direction that's coming from, basically trying to tell me that if I leave here to go back home, that they're gonna continue to spread rumors about. But I mean, come on, they do it regardless. They do it anyway. So it doesn't matter. So when they do shit like this, I just gotta say that, and there's always gotta be some new recruit, okay, who may not understand fully how they're being manipulated and what's being done, okay. And so, I'm gonna keep going home. That's what I'm gonna do, okay. And like I said, you saw him take his phone out. Didn't look at it. I mean, he didn't press anything to say, okay, if I'm getting a call or is a text message, anything like that. He just looked at it, looked at me, then put it back in his pocket. Okay, and let's go back a little bit just in case you guys are confused about what's going on. All right. Yeah, put on the show. Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube pretty soon. Yep. Now look how he looks exactly towards me. Okay. He looks back in the direction where I was coming from. Okay, now see what he's doing here? It's a hand signal. Now, three fingers. Talk about hand signals before. Okay, if you try to play it off, what you'll see here. Right, so what do you see here? You see he sticks out his index finger. Again, I talked about this, right? And what this means. Okay, so if you are new to the to this and watching this video for the very first time, you may not know what a TI is. For me, when people do that, early on in my targeting, as I explained, when I was working, whenever I would leave work, I would take the stairs. Now, normally I always take the elevator, right? But every time when I first became targeted, every time I take the stairs, there would be a police officer at the bottom of the stairs. And whenever he sees me, he would lean on the railing and he would take his index finger and point it, right, whether down or straight. This is what he would do, and this went on for months. Okay, and then after that, for about 2 months, I didn't see him. And then one day I was on the train, and this person came and stopped me, walked past everybody else. I was sitting down. This person came on the train, walked past everybody else, came directly towards me, and asked me the time. There's a purpose for them doing that also, but they also after that started pointing their fingers down. Not just that person who asked me that, but there were others on the train who have been uh, trained to do that, because you see what they were engaging in is what is called psychological warfare, or psyops, right? And then it's a coercive persuasion program. Okay, and so that is what is called NLP, or dark NLP, right? And so which is the triggers and anchors, right? Which is synthesizing someone to a particular thing. It could be a person, could be color, it could be a gesture, it could be articles of clothing, anything that they can create an attachment, right? And that attachment is what is called the anchor, which is a negative emotion, negative feeling, or a negative thought, right? And so this is what they had done to me, and I didn't realize that until many years later, after doing some heavy research and learning about psychological conditioning and psychological programming, uh, and the different methods that they do to individuals, to a person, and so this is what happened. So I'm going to go back on this just slightly so you guys can see again. And you'll see how he's going to, let's do it right there. See that index finger sticking out right there? Again, tried to mask it. He thought that by moving away that, I wouldn't be able to see it, but you can see it right here. Okay? And then he does the three fingers, right? In which now he takes his index finger, hide it inside of his collar, right? And then you have three fingers sticking out, right? And so now you'll see him do this. Okay? Back over here. Back over here, dude. There it is. Camera's on you. Come back over here. Come on. Don't walk away. Yeah, okay, so now what he does now is that he's going to walk over to the emergency box, which is the fire department box, right? And we stand behind it, and as he steps out, right, you'll see he starts to yawn. See, he has his mouth open, he's yawning, like, I'm tired, which is something that, they used to do a lot. They still yawn and, put their hand by the mouth while yawning as I walk by. And so I started adapting that same tactics on them, right? And so every time they do it, I would do it. and so they stop. You can see whatever they do to you, you can do it back to them and affect them in a similar way or even the very same way, right? Even more so because sometimes you might not interpret it correctly, but they know what it means, right? So here you'll see here. Now you hear some car honking, right? And again, this is what they do using the car honks. As you can see, the streets are barely empty, so I don't know why they're even honking. There was nothing impeding them, and this is both the white car and the black car that followed. Okay, you'll see. Yeah,
Yeah, come back over here.
yeah, car, the white car, and the black car, red car. Sorry, the black car. It's a red car. He keeps looking over at me. Now here's the interesting thing, right?
Matter of fact, let me get closer. Get closer.
Um, yeah, and
Yeah.
so here's the interesting thing, right? So you'll see he has a sweater, and again, usually people in the military wear these types of sweater because that's where you go get them from, right? You buy them off on military bases from the PX, right, which sells clothing, military clothing, and stuff like that. And again, the book bag also, right? So I'm not saying he's in the military. What I'm trying to say is this: sometimes they will have civilian dressed up in military gear, okay, to and it's not, so some people may say, well, the military is behind us. They're all behind us, right? Whether it be the military, Department of Defense, the CIA, Department of Justice, they are all complicit in knowing about these sort of program, right? Because remember, these are all government agencies, particularly if you're dealing with security and law enforcement. They're all working together, okay? And so that's without a doubt. So, but what they do is what I call third person, third party. What's the exact word I use? I forgot. But it's like when, for example, when you're being harassed by the police and you start to complain, you go to the police precinct, you complain, what have you. Now all of a sudden you probably won't see police anymore, but then you'll start to see people wearing shirts that says police on it. They'll wear like caps that resemble police caps, or wear clothing that resemble police clothing, right? Because again, this is what they do. It's all psychological conditioning, right? Neurolinguistic programming, okay? And so you'll see this guy here, and again, what they do is that, and they'll use this person because lately, because of the situation between me and Pam, and with her talking about before this, her ex was talking about dating, and this guy looked very similar to her ex in terms of you know appearance, right? Physical appearance. And I think I've done other videos where I show that they'll have people that look like her ex, all of a sudden I start to see them, right? So again, even with my exes sometimes, because I showed a video where I'm coming from school and there's a girl that looks like my ex, and it's not the first video I've done. There's other videos in there too. So this is something that they do, and again, this is to cause to try to make me jealous and angry and stuff like that, which I'm not. I'm not. Everybody gets jealous. It's a natural thing. It's a human nature for you to get jealous. Now, if you get too jealous, then that's an issue, and it's just like she gets jealous when my ex calls me, but there's nothing she can do because we're not together. And if she can talk to her ex, she can, get up in the middle of the night to speak to her ex and stuff like that, or text her ex back and forth. Then hey, you know what I'm saying? That's her, right? But again, I understand this, right? So sometimes when you see people, when you hear stories about people flying into jealous rage, is sometimes it may not be the fact that um, they become they fly into that rage on their own volition, but because they've been manipulated by an outside force that is doing these things, right? And not everybody now. So I just want to be clear on that. There are some people who just become jealous and they don't know how to handle it, right? But there are others who are being manipulated into that, so that because again, someone is trying to harm them or make them harm somebody so that they can uh, to get rid of them, right? So for a person who was experimented on, and the government doesn't want that person to know, particularly if they're coming into some sort of consciousness that hey, something is not right here, or such and such, they would do that, and they've done that to me. And I've told the story plenty of times when, during my early years of targeting, I was coming home one night. It was in the summertime. I'm surprised. It was like about it was 12 o'clock at night. There was nobody on the block. Now, it's summertime in New York City. People outside all the time, right? Up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But there was nobody on this block. No vehicle passing by. Nothing. And I'm walking by, and I saw this person I knew from high school. Calls me over, opens up the trunk of his car, and opened up a box. And in the box was a gun with 2 clips in it. Okay? And I'm like, I haven't spoken to this person in so long. Why is this person calling me to show me a picture of a gun? Right? My brother went into the hospital one day, went to the bathroom, found 2 magazines. Right? I think it was 9mm magazine clips full on the sink. And you know what he said? He said that he received a transmission telling him to go to the bathroom at the hospital. Right? Now, many people don't want to believe in government experimentation. Many people don't want to believe in government having weapons using microwave frequencies to control people's mind. But I assure you, it is real. When you look at what happened in China, look what happened in Cuba, and as a matter of fact, they will try to say, oh, these weapons don't exist, but they know it exists because if you Google American Embassy being microwave in Russia in 1974 and again in 1968, right? You will find articles on that. Even within the CIA own website, you will find articles that talks about how State Department and CIA officials traveling to East Germany, East Berlin, or Berlin, Germany, whatever, right, to get a demonstration of these weapons, and coming back and saying because they were so concerned about it that these technology needs to be heavily regulated. It's on their own website, right? But yet they will tell the public that these things don't exist because you know why? The public don't do any research, and I'm not sure if it's still there, but you guys need to go and look it up before they take it down, right? So anyway, let's continue. Okay, so you see now he goes like this. Now I think I missed the part where he stick his tongue out. It's very quick. I'm gonna try to pause it so you guys can see.
Better look at this crown.
Okay, let's see. I want to see. Okay, that'd be too quick. And you hear me call him a clown, right? Yeah.
No targeting.
I'll say this so he can hear me. So then he takes
No.
his phone out again. And he looks up in the sky. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Bye.
Walks across the street. Because again, they cannot deal with the target. Now, as he walks across the street, he looks up at the window. Okay. And then you'll see him move his head up here, look up at the sign. And, this is what they do, man. This is, again, the type of shit that they do. But, hey, you know what? I'm the right person that they targeted. You know what I'm saying? Because, these people, they do these things to others. And because the others that they do this to, the other TIs, may not have the ability or the mindset to fight them, to take them on, to study their programming, to study their cult, okay? And to analyze the shit that they're doing. Eventually, they're going to be someone that comes along that can do that. And I'm so glad that, I just felt like, this is a grave injustice and what's being done to me and others. Being microchipped without our consent, being placed into a program like this without our consent, being experimented on, being subjected to directed energy weapons, right, and which has caused neurological and psychological damage and issues to me, as well as physical ailments, okay, as well as spine damage, nerve damage, okay, so yeah, I gotta expose it. So anyway, the bus came, I got on the bus, and I got off the bus at the first bus stop I got off on. As I looked across the street, there was a police vehicle driving up. I'm like, okay, all right, see that again. Because again, whenever they use Pam, I've talked about this many times, to heavily target me. Either when I'm on my way home, I'm going back to the house in the morning, there could be a heavy police presence, right? And did it in such a way that I would wait to see them, but when I take my phone out to record them, I wouldn't be able to, because where the bus stopped, I had to walk all the way to the corner, which is probably about good, um, I would say maybe 6 feet away or something like that. Maybe even more than that. And so by the time I would get to the corner to record them going in the opposite direction, they would have already been gone, or wouldn't be able to see them. And so anyway, so I got on the second bus, and again the bus got to I think it was Nostrand Avenue, and in front of the bus, because I didn't know, I was sitting down, there was a police vehicle. But I did see the police vehicle when it turned, because they made certain that they were turning very, very slow so that I can see them. Okay? And again, couldn't pick up my phone to record them. But what I did record, all right, and again, this is how they mask their target, and see, because they figure, well, you know what? Hey, he's not recording the constant heavy police presence, so we're just gonna put one car there, and that would be enough. So on top of that, they were stopped. I think it looked like they had stopped a dollar cab, right? What we call a dollar cab here in New York, here in Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn and Queens, we have that. I'm not sure about the Bronx, what have you. But I know Brooklyn and Queens, we have what is called dollar vans, dollar cabs. Your bus fare is $2.75. The dollar vans are $2. Dollar cabs are $2, right? So I get off, and sure enough, I got off the bus. Right? I got off the bus, and look at these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers. Okay. I'm sorry for the cursing, but sometimes, I just gotta, just let out some of that frustration. You know what I'm saying? So I do apologize for the curses. Um, but it'll get to you. I mean, I try not to curse that much. I'm not a cursor, but sometimes I gotta, you know. Oh, okay, that's my speaker. But, sometimes I just gotta, let out some frustration. You know. Right? So in front of perp at the bus stop, I get off. I get off the bus stop, because I'm heading back over to Pam again, because they're using her to target me very heavily the night before, not last night, but the night before. And so I left last night to go home. And this is the shit that they do, right? This is all intimidation shit. They wait by the bus stop, right? So even with all of this shit going on, right? I am so important that this is what they do. Right. And also, people just say, also, let me just say this, right? In spite of all of this, right? They're pulling over a dollar van. Like, I mean, a dollar cab. Like, are you guys that desperate? You know what I'm saying? Are you that friggin' desperate? I mean, these people are trying to make a living. They're not committing any crime. They're just, giving people rides. Pay them $2, what have you, for their ride, and that's it, right? You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, oh well, you can go get a medallion. Do you know how much a taxi cab medallion is? And if they do get a medallion, they cannot do what they're doing. Okay, all right. And people always say that shit, and other people, you gotta really think, right? When you say that to a lot of people, to go, let's say everybody does, right? Guess who's getting rich? The state, right? Guess who's getting poor? The cab drivers. Because when you have a overflow of taxi cabs, right? You're not going to make the type of money that you used to make when they wasn't. All right, so you got to think about that. And like I said, sometimes things come out of people's mouth that they don't even know what the hell they're talking about, because they don't think critically, and they cannot they don't have any foresight. Let me put it like that, to look at things in multiple aspects, right? Okay. What makes you so important that they do this? Well, let me just skip past this. All right, so now. Start getting this check aggressive. This out. Start recording. So you see, as I crossing the street, this black car Draw forward a little bit, right? Again, it's to get my attention. And let's go back. Let's go back slightly because I want you guys to see this. So this is what they'll do. Okay, so here he is. He stopped now, right? You see that? He stopped. He hasn't moved at all.
Recording
Now, as soon as I get to, he's, you
because
know, drives up.
this is what I need to do, right?
Okay. Now, check this out. This is how they're going to run a suicide theme, right? And try to introduce the idea of me committing suicide in my mind, right? Check this out. So you see this guy right here. Let me zoom into this because you guys really need to see this. And this is something, again, I'm going to blow the lid off and how they do these things, right? And let's go to the back. Okay, because I need to zoom this in so you guys can get a better look at the individual face. Okay. All right, let's go back a little. Okay. All right. Now, you look at this guy. Okay. So there was a show on television called No Reservation. Okay. And I'm not going to say the person name. Well, actually, I am going to say the person name. Okay, because I need to. But so No Reservation was hosted by Anthony Bourdain. Okay. Anthony Bourdain. The show was on CNN. Let me do this. Okay. No reservation. Okay. Anthony Bourdain. All right. Now, if you always watch this show, you see he's always in jeans and a button-down shirt the majority of the time, right? A lot of time. Okay. And so here's this guy, right? You can see a picture of Anthony Bourdain here. Let me just do this. All right. Okay. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys again, and like I said, there are times. Oh, oops, what did I do? Okay. So listen, there are times when I get like these golden moments, okay, and this is one of them again, because they thought that I wasn't going to be recording, and they took the chance, right? And because again, being hit with directed energy weapons, telling me not to record, not to do that. And they should have known because from the first, I saw that guy at the first bus stop that I was walking to, I was recording. Now I didn't record at the second bus stop, so maybe they thought that, okay, he was done recording, right? But sometimes I say, well, sometimes when they put things in motion, it's very hard and very difficult for them to pull it back, unless the person that's participating in it have the um, the presence of mind to switch it up, right? To turn back around and walk away or walk across the street. Okay, but again, and the fact that when this person walked by, I was like, oh, he looks like Anthony Bourdain. It could have been a transmission that they put into my mind, right? And we all know what happened to Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. Okay, and so maybe like I said, this is those sorts of thoughts and ideas in which they're trying to put into my mind of committing suicide. Okay, so this is what they do, right? This is what they do. Okay, and I have when I see stuff like this happen, it makes me realize that probably Anthony Bourdain was probably a targeted individual and he didn't even know it. Okay, or he did know it, but because they conditioned him into silence, right? They threatened him into silence, okay, until he couldn't deal with it anymore, or until maybe like me, well, they feel like, well, we're at a point where we can come and we can kidnap you and arrest you and put you in jail or put you in a mental institution, and the only way out is for you to commit suicide, right? Or to flee the country. Okay, those are the two themes that they try to use recently, Um, and so again, and also I want you guys to check this out. Let me see. Did I?
Okay.
Wait, let's go
Now
back.
this is the dude.
Okay, so do you hear the car honking? Right? Again, that car honking is to bring my attention. But just as how I was standing at the bus stop with that guy who was targeting me, the one that walked across the street, because he was like, well, I guess this person, as he was walking back and forth, I called him, calling him names like clowns and the P word and all this stuff, right? And you saw the two cars that was drove by that was honking their horn, right? So again, this is to grab my attention. So the honking of the horn, okay, and I guess that must be a trigger. That must be a trigger, right, to what they've implanted in my subconscious. Because the minute this dude walked past me, I was like, hey, he looks like Anthony Bourdain, right? And so, again, trying to show you guys what it is that they're doing. And again, this is highly orchestrated, right? And the precision at which is being done, okay, it lets you know that for me, I already know that the FBI, the CIA, state and local police departments are all involved in these things. They know about this, and that's why when we as TI go to the police department to ask for an investigation into what's going on, we're being told to go see professionals, right? Like, because we're crazy, right? Okay, this is how they try to discredit us by labeling us as being crazy, okay? But I want you guys to understand this and see this. Okay, and when I talk about being microwave in the home, my kids being microwave, we all have time that we can't sleep, we all have concentration problems. It is because we are being subjected to these type of direct energy weapons. And then with me, with the remote monitoring, please, if I started reading about Malcolm X, man, words like revolution comes on uh, in my mind. If I'm reading, whoop, 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 you know, any means necessary, whoop, 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 you know. This is this is what they do. And if you go on YouTube and look up Dr. Peter Breggin, he's a psychiatrist, right? But he talks about how that black leaders in the community were being kidnapped. They go to the hospital after they were sick, if they're sick, being kidnapped, being subject to brain electric shock and stuff like that, because they wanted to change their way of thinking, because white individuals, white supremacists, couldn't understand that that because if you're a black person being subjected to horrible condition, racism, all of that, there shouldn't be any reason why you would want to protest, why you would want to fight back. You're supposed to take it, right? But that's what they were thinking. Go YouTube. It's called Peter Breggin in the Minds of Men. All right.
Okay. Now this is the dude, the white guy. He looks like, who he looks like? Anthony
And
Bourdain.
there you go.
You remember what happened to Anthony Bourdain? He committed suicide. All right. So this is how they send their subliminal messages,
Okay.
right?
So again, I probably was, uh, this was probably put into my mind using, again, what is called silent sound spectrum, particularly when I'm sleeping, right? So this is how they can use it to condition you when you're sleeping. And so, like I said, there's always these golden moments that I'm able to get and I'm able to expose, and this is one of them. Okay. So I just wanted to say, thank you guys for watching the videos. For those who support me, thank you for supporting me. I just feel very strongly about exposing what's being done. And, no matter what the cost for me is, what I'm saying, I'm just trying to alert others and to prevent future generations from being put into this type of program. And also understand is that religious organizations are heavily into this because they're beholden to the government, because the government is now, uh, giving them money, right? They've been giving them money. So they're beholden to the government, so they participate in these type of programs. They get their members to participate in it, and then also too, a lot of these religious fanatics are also in law enforcement. right? And they're in the military also, you know. I mean, so this is what we have to deal with. And if we don't wake up and understand what's going on, you know, there are people out there who think it's okay for them to do this to me, okay, regardless of whatever reason they give them. But sooner or later, it's gonna, as history has always shown, that eventually they're gonna turn on them also, right? So, you know, that's what gives me some form of comfort because sooner or later I know that they're gonna get exactly what you know, they're so happy about what's being done to us as TIs, that those same people, they're going to get their fair share of it too. Okay, and it's going to be even worse for them. All right, so that's it for the video. I thank you guys for tuning in, watching, and you know, see you guys in the next video. Take care and be safe. All right, wear your mask, wear your gloves, walk with your hand sanitizer. Don't cough in anybody's face. And anybody try to cough in your face, you have a right to defend yourself, okay? Because then it becomes, you know, an assault on you, all right? And as a TI, they're going to be people trying to do that. Because I've had a person came up from behind me and start coughing while I was waiting in line to go into a store, okay? But I had a mask on. So just be careful, all right?